try to tell us we're too young to really be in love. They say that love's a word we've only heard, but can't begin to know the meaning of. And yet we're not too young to know this love will last though years may go. And then someday they may recall we were not too young at all. And yet we're not too young to know this love will last though years may go. And then someday they may recall we were not too young at all. That was Too Young by Nat King Cole and later by Donny Osmond. And I played that straight from the charts of the Morristown Uke Jam. So take the link in the video description, download the free ukulele song sheet, grab your own ukulele, and you can play right along with this video. And if you'll be anywhere near Morristown, New Jersey, come out and play with us. In just a moment, I'll do a basic tutorial covering everything I just played. At the very end, I'll do a slow motion close-up play-along that you might find helpful. But right now, if you like the video, please like the video with a thumbs up. If you want lots more, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you want hundreds more free downloadable ukulele song sheets, each one with a link to its own free video play-along and tutorial just like this one, then check out our Dropbox and then come play with us. Okay, now, I did what I called a slow strum arpeggio on this, but that sounds much scarier than it was. What I mean is on my right hand, instead of just strumming, I did some plucking too, right? I did, and that was pretty much it. I used usually, I think, just a single index finger, and then I followed that up by plucking from the ceiling down, 1, 2, 3. We actually count from the floor up, so that would be 4, 3, 2, right? Fourth string from the floor, third string from the floor, and then second string from the floor. And that was pretty much it. And then when the chords came faster, I did strum every chord change. So, right, I didn't have time to get in all the things. That was okay. I just still did that. I just did a single pluck and back. So that's it. That's all I did with my right hand. Nothing fancier than that. There was no finger style. There was nothing. I just formed the chords and I plucked in that pattern. That was all. As far as the chord changes go, starts with a G. From there to a B minor, I'm going to take my index finger and lay flat across the second fret. So I'm barring that for the B minor, right? And then from the B minor to E minor, normally I would form an E minor like this. But I already have this sitting there. I just dropped 2 more fingers. And I have a closed E minor there, see? So from this to this, that's how I make that change. And then I pick them all up for the C6 and drop back down the F sharp diminished. A lot of people call that a kind of an alternative D7. It doesn't actually have a D in it, so it's not not technically a D7, but I've heard Hawaiians call it a Hawaiian D7, so it's accepted as an acceptable alternative. There we go, that F sharp diminished. Okay, so G, B minor. Oh, excuse me, I missed the E minor, didn't I? So first line, or the first line of the intro, yeah, from G, I'm barring that B minor. I drop that for the E minor. Oh no, I guess I didn't forget it. Then I pick it up to the F sharp diminished, and it's exactly the same thing when we go into the verse. From there, I'm going to move these kind of rigidly. They're already in the right shape. They're just not on the right strings, right? I'm going to move them over to the other strings and form a G again. They tried to tell us we're too young, and it's exactly the same as I did for the intro. And now it's almost the same, second line. Too young to really be in. Now here you've got a choice. For me, the natural way to drop down a C from here is to use my middle finger there. And then I switch over. So I did that sometimes, but sometimes from here, I knew I was going to an E7, I just dropped my ring finger on the C, and that way I only have to slide down for the E7, right? So your choice. If you use your ring finger, it's an easy slide to the E7. If you use your middle finger, then you just have to pick them all up and drop an E7. Either way you want. But then, generally speaking, I'll slide up my index finger for that A minor. They say that love's a word, and I usually, because my hand kind of falls on the neck this way, I'll use my middle finger to bar for that D7. But you could do it this way. You can do it whatever you like. But so, say that love's a word we've only heard. You just keep picking it up and dropping it back down. But can't begin to know the meaning of. Now here's the first part where if you want to, you could just leave out this part. You can just leave it, or you can go meaning of. You can just go straight from G to a D, right? And yet you could do that. What I did was I went from a G to a fifth position G, and the way that's counted, that would be like, here's an open G, right? And this is your second position, third, and then fourth is like this, and fifth is here. So that's what I did. It's like an E, right? Except up on the 5th fret. That's also just a G. So you can leave it alone if you want, but I like the way it sounded. Right? I like that kind of melody going. I like the way that went. So again, I'm starting with a G. I go up to this 5th position E, kind of, which is also a G. And then a second position C. It's like a B fret on the 3rd. It's like a B flat on the 3rd fret. And then down to the, down to a D. And yet, we're not too young to know. Exactly the same as before. And then this next line changes. This love will last. Just pick up a finger and you got that G6. Last though years may go. And again, you've got a riff there that you don't have to do. You can just leave it right on that C if you want. Or you can go from the C to the E minor, your choice. But so what I'm doing is an A all the way up here. A C all the way up here. Again, here's a C, right? But here would be a 2nd position, 3rd position. I'm not sure. Oh, 4th position would be here. And here's 5th. So that's why I call that a 5th position C. But so it's like a closed G all the way up on the 7th fret. That's what it is. Okay, so I'm going C, and then all the way back down. I just, kind of raise your index finger so it's arched on just the 4th string, and you gotta write that A minor, and then E minor. Next to last line in that verse, and then someday we may. So I got an A minor, I drop a C, and I drop a C minor. Recall. And sorry, I just have to pick all those up. There's nothing really in common. I guess I think of my index finger as kind of going diagonally over to join the G to the G7. But it's not really an anchor point. So recall and pick them all up again to that E minor. And we were not too young at all. From the G to the E minor, I just drop my pinky. Then slide my middle finger up to the C and drop my index finger to bar for the D, 7. And that's it. I think that's all of our chord transitions. Okay, now I'm going to do... What am I going to do? I'm just going to play through, from the intro, through the first verse. I'm going to pretend that it was the second, the final outro. And I'll go right to that final riff, you know, the finale outro. In slow motion, close up on my chord changing hand. Here goes. Let's see, stay in position there. 5, 6, slow motion, 7, and... They try to tell us we're too young, too young to really be in love. They say that love's a word we've only heard, but can't begin to know the meaning of. And yet we're not too young to know this love will last though years may go, and then someday they may recall we were not too young. I'm going straight to the end at all. That's it. See you Wednesday. Bye.